Tonight on CTV News, we have a one-on-one with Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece. Plus later, we take a look at some demonstrations around Fort Collins.
Then later on, we have weather, sports, and entertainment. All this plus more starting now.
Good evening and thanks for watching CTV. I'm Emily Biffinger.
And I'm Willis Scott. Dr. Alveda King visited CSU Monday night. Dr. King is the Director of Civil Rights for the Unborn. She spoke about abortion to a crowd of about 100 people. Dr. Alveda King spoke about her experience having had 2 abortions. She said her generation was lied to about abortion, that fetuses are more than simply flesh, and that abortion isn't health care. She said her uncle, who died before abortion became legal, was pro-life.
Martin Luther King Jr. during his lifetime said that the Negro cannot win if he is willing to sacrifice the futures of his children for immediate personal comfort and safety. That, of course, would have included abortion. Dr.
King doesn't think it's enough to simply make abortion illegal.
We work to make abortion first unthinkable. Because, you know, my uncle said it this way. He said, the law may not make a person love me, but it can keep them from lynching me. So you need laws while you're working on the heart. But it's the heart that wants to lynch.
With a Republican majority in Washington, she thinks that the Supreme Court's 1973 legalization of abortion may be reversed at some point.
I believe that it is all about timing. Of course, there's been much effort to overturn Roe versus Wade through the years, but we knew that along with considering the law, we were going to have to change the heart of the nation. And more Americans are beginning to recognize that the little person in the womb is a human being. So that, coupled with the Supreme Court appointments, may just get us the victory that we've been longing for.
Dr. King was invited to CSU by the Students for Life group. Students for Life at CSU is a pro-life club that opposes abortion.
Over the weekend, more than 1,300 people attended a Peace and Solidarity rally Saturday afternoon at Civic Center Park to bring together the Fort Collins community in response to the election results. The rally was hosted by Fort Collins for Progress. The group changed the original name from Rams Against Trump to be more inclusive, though the rally was originally described as anti-Trump. With hundreds of protesters carrying signs and plenty of students coming from other universities, the protest was much more inclusive. In attendance was member Senate John Cafalis, who encouraged the attendees to engage with state politics. He says the people's fundamental responsibility to keep people involved in government responsible.
On Sunday afternoon, students and community members gathered in Old Town Square to show solidarity with Standing Rock. Standing Rock is a Native American reservation in North Dakota. It recently became the site of protests against the North Dakota Access Pipeline. The gathering was peaceful and filled with prayers and songs. Some protesters burned incense. Many were brought to tears throughout the gathering. By the time the gathering began, there were at least 100 people in the square. Those in the crowd were given pamphlets and advice on how they could stand with Standing Rock. In addition to donating funds or other needed items and diverting funds from banks supporting the pipeline, the audience was encouraged to send their prayers and love to the people of Standing Rock.
Upon recent events with the free speech wall and election results, some students shared feelings of discouragement and uncertainty with being undocumented citizens. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, held a student support rally in order to show these students that they are cared for and loved by their community and others around them. Many students made posters and white shirts were worn to show solidarity. As a response to the wall on campus, DACA has called all of Colorado State University to show their support for undocumented students on campus. DACA organized a peaceful student rally to give students a safe platform to speak and have their voices heard.
No matter what happens and no matter what people say about us, we're still going to stand together, and now more than ever, we're going to hold on tight to each other, and the fight is going to continue, and we're going to come back more powerful, and the color of our skin and our histories and our stories are just going to be told more often, and they're going to be heard more. And so I'm just really excited to see so many people here and to support each other, no matter whether you're undocumented, whether you're not, whether you're an ally, no matter how you identify, that you're here to support the students that are here on campus.
I hate to tell you this, but we put someone in power who really has had some terrible things to say about minorities for the last year and a half, and since this man has been elected, his supporters have become emboldened and feel courage to commit acts against marginalized identities that they didn't feel before. We're already seeing a spike in hate crimes across identity spectrums, and it's terrifying. So for those of you who don't understand why we were protesting and why we're protesting still, I really hope you do now, because this is not a matter of whose political candidate won for us. This is a matter of whether or not we're safe with our families at night when we go home.
Today really just meant so much to everyone that was here, because we saw the people who were behind us, we saw the people who stood by us, we saw the people that didn't think of themselves as different individuals but as equals. And it really just meant so much for so many people to come out and support us, to know that we're in this together and not really, any different from anyone else.
I want some people say keep fighting, and I think it's more keep loving. Because that's what's going to win.
For more information about DACA, please visit uscis.gov.
Well, many go to Old Town at night to see the holiday lighting display. Not many know how much it costs the city each year. This year's traditional display is set to cost the city of Fort Collins $115,000. The lights are a Fort Collins tradition that started in 2007. They stay lit from November 4th to February 14th. The Downtown Business Association, Development Authority, and City of Fort Collins split up the cost to pay for the lights. The DBA contributed $35,000 to the lights. They raised some extra money in order to host the lighting ceremony event. The DDA also contributed $35,000 to this year's event, and the City of Fort Collins contributed $35,000 with an additional $10,000 to cover any damage costs that may come up. Have you had a chance to get down to Old Town and see these lights yet?
I've passed by them a couple times at night and they're beautiful, but I haven't actually gotten the time to slow down and look at all of them. How about you? I
haven't. I really need to get down there. I've been down there quite a few times in the day and I see them all up there, but I haven't seen them lit yet. And so I really need to get down there and do that.
Yeah, you have to. It's like Fort Collins tradition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's it for news, but coming up, Elizabeth Prassey has the full weather forecast.
Then later on, we have sports and entertainment.